and welcome to Let's Talk SEO. One of the keys to optimizing for LLMs is figuring out what the fan out queries are for what people are asking the GPT. So this video, I'm going to go ahead and show you exactly how to go about finding those fan out queries. And we'll start with an understanding of what fan out queries are so that you understand why they're important or even key to being mentioned in LLMs. Now, I've been doing a lot of SEO for the past 2 years that's been specifically focused on optimizing for LLMs. And I can tell you thus far, I have been extremely successful. Some of my experiments have not worked, most have worked. And the theory behind this has nothing to do with domain authority. It has absolutely nothing to do about internal linking. It has also absolutely nothing to do lots and lots of backlinks. All of that, whatever people tell you, is not really relevant to ranking in AEO or AI SEO or even being mentioned in GPT. Just want to make that clear. The first thing is let's start with an understanding of what fan out queries are. So whenever you go to something like GPT, and you type in a term like how to um, train my 2-year-old or how to train your 6-year-old, when you type this query in or when you ask ChatGPT that question, ChatGPT works as an assistant and goes to a search engine. It goes to Bing, it goes to Google, and it will search for queries that it thinks are relevant or will bring out an answer for what you're asking it. Okay, so what might appear to be taking seconds with ChatGPT is actually a pretty long process that goes on the back end. So it might search for the term 6-year-old, toddler, child training, potty training, um, all of those terms. And then when it gets the results, it scrapes the results and then provides you with an answer. So if you show up in the results in those search engines, th- then you will be mentioned in GPT. But again, it depends on where you show up in those search engines. If you're number 30 or on the third page, then you will not show up in search engines. Then you will not show up in GPT, which means that you're either not optimized well or you're not optimizing for the right terms, which is where this whole AEO thing comes in, or this whole AI SEO thing comes in. So you need to start with an understanding of what these fan out queries are so that you can optimize for them. All right. So we'll start with showing you exactly how to go about the process. It's cheap. It's free, in fact. So it's not going to cost you anything, but follow through the steps and you'll have a list of keywords that you can then use to start optimizing your website. So let's go ahead and jump to my screen. All right, so the first thing we'll do is we'll go to Chrome // extensions, and we will look for the extension called AI Search Fan Out Tracker. Now it's in version 1.2.0. I have absolutely nothing to do with this extension. I don't know the developer of this extension. I'm getting absolutely nothing from introducing you guys to this extension. It's just that I used to use another extension that stopped working. Then I found this extension. This does exactly what that one does, and it works. Okay. So this helps me find fan out queries, and it's free to use, and that's why I use it. All right. So once you go ahead and install the extension. You go here and you pin the extension from over here. Once you pin it, it will show up over here. Okay. So once you have the extension up, I'll just increase the size here. All right. So I've been using the extension. You can see I have queries that I've searched for, but I'll show you how to go about doing it and why it's important. So we'll go here and we'll go to ChatGPT. And let's say you're selling a dog training service. Okay. Now, dog training services are usually local services. So you might be in LA. So you might be selling dog training services in LA, or you might be in New York. So most people will ask ChatGPT, where do I find a dog training service near me. Now, I'm in Dubai, so probably tell me where dog training services are in Dubai. So depending on where you are, it'll do the search for you. I'll just go ahead and hit enter over here. This thing, I will load the plugin and it's processing. So not only does it tell me what queries, but also how many queries. Okay, so there were 4 queries that ChatGPT went ahead and searched for. It searched for best dog trainers in Dubai, dog training service near Dubai, how to find a dog trainer in Dubai, and dog training service Dubai contract and address, and dog training service Dubai. Okay, so we went ahead and did 4 searches on our behalf to provide us with this. All right. Now, interestingly, you will see that these 3 recommendations come from one URL or one website, which means that these guys are practically killing it in this space. And as you scroll down, there's another one. They're doing well. These guys are doing okay, I guess, but they're too lower down. Uh, these guys are probably doing well because you know ChatGPT gave us their phone number. And so what we can do here is we can see for flexible training, if you want, I can find 10 more dog training services near your specific area in Dubai. All right. So we don't want that. We want to do another query. Okay. So mainly you want to do 2 to 3 questions so that you know if there intersects and overlaps and, so that you can move on to the next step to start figuring out how you can optimize for them. So let's ask this. How much do dog training services to buy cost? Let's do cost. Okay. Let's go ahead and do this search. So it's giving me uh, the price list. So Google group class, group obedience is 100 to 200 dirhams per session. Standard group class packages, 800 to 1500 dirhams a session. So it's got all of these. What affects the cost? It's telling me these, but where is it sourcing this information from? So again, we go back to this plugin over here and it'll tell us. So 4 more searches were run by ChatGPT. So how much does dog training cost near Dubai? So it searched for this. Average dog training cost in Dubai. It did a search in Arabic, perhaps. Dog training Dubai cost per session. Dog training services Dubai. How much is dog training in Dubai price? Pet training cost. All right. This is what it has auto searched for. So what we can do here is we can download a CSV file for all the queries. Okay. And then I'll load it up into Google Sheets. There's no way to clear your previous history. At least I have not been able to find a way to do it. And so when you export, you're practically exporting everything. All right. So you need to just do a bit of a cleanup. So we'll do file, import. So we've only got the ChatGPT queries and we've only got the dog training queries. All right. You can go ahead and try this on other LLMs. It does not always work as well, but you know, it's worth a shot. So I'm just trying to point you guys in the right direction. So now we want to figure out if these queries are even worth optimizing for, or, if there are other things as well. So usually you have a list of like 40, 50 queries. And what you're trying to do is you're trying to find if they're intersecting queries. So queries that are the same. So people asking questions for which the queries that ChatGPT is searching for is the same. So in our case, let's see, dog training services, best dog training. Nope. We don't have any intersecting queries. So what we can do here is we'll figure out what their search volume is. So the way I do this is I have a data for SEO connection, and I use data for SEO. You can use any program or any platform you want, SEMrush, Ahrefs, whatever. So we're having a bit of a problem with data for SEO. So the idea here is that we want to figure out what their search volume is, what the competition is, and then we want to know whether it's worth optimizing for. So if the competition is low, the search volume is high, and we're getting these AI mentions, then we might want to optimize for it. And that's a separate video. If you're not getting that, uh, then you might want to consider optimizing, and not specifically for these terms, but for a blanket term or a root term. For instance, let's just give you guys a so if we copy all of these, all right, and we go to ChatGPT, and this is like the lazy way of doing it, and we ask, what is the one parent term or key phrase that would encompass the list below. All right, let's paste it over here. All right, a single parent term key phrase that clearly covers all the topics in your list. If you want slightly more, so dog training Dubai, dog training services Dubai, dog training services, dog training Dubai services. Three phases naturally cover cost query. So so you can create then a separate page for dog training Dubai services. This would be your title. This would be your H1. And then you would cover as H2s, you would cover this on the page. And then that would encompass all of those queries that I mentioned. And at the same time, you'd be creating a new page, but the AI will pick it up much faster whenever someone searches for this term. So it's not about domain authority. It's not about internal links. It's not about external links. It's about how well you're optimized. All of those still matter, but if this is not dialed in, all of that will not matter. So I hope you guys liked the video. Like and subscribe as always. Leave a comment below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Happy ranking.